I actually have a co-host. We have Nicholas Gardner from the Potomac State College Library helping us out today. He is going to show you how to utilize some of um, that he will help you work your way through different types of databases. And this helps us manage and understand the information you're going to be collecting for your presentations in lab. So he's going to go and talk about how to use a database, and then I'm actually going to talk about the assignment. All right?
All right, great.
Hey, Nick.
All right, thanks. As Nate said, I'm Nick from the library. As you know, if you've dealt with us in your classroom before, we're fairly informal. I'm just going to repaste for you guys all the ways you can get a hold of us in case after this presentation you need any more help. You know, you can always call us, email us, even hit the library up on Facebook, and we'll get back to you. All right. So just so you know, one of the databases I'm going to show you guys, it's 2 ebooks. It will be unavailable on the 22nd through the 24th while they're doing some service work in Morgantown. So definitely if you guys need to use the ebook or get in there, you'll want to make sure you get it before that or after that. All right. So if you've never been on the Potomac State College, and let me know if I need to slow down. And if at any point you want to like just yell out, shout out, hey, I didn't understand that, or I have a question, please do that. Very informal. All right. So if you've never been to the Potomac State College Library website, I'm going to tell you right off bat, we used to try to tell the students how to type out the URL and everything. It's much faster if you just type Potomac State College Library into Google and bring in the first result. It's always been the first result. All right. So you can see it's right here. Again, to reiterate, we have all the ways you can get a hold of us and a warning about the fact that, hey, there's going to be a service interruption this weekend. All right. So if you've had us in your other classes, you may have seen us take you down to this databases tab and go from there to do a little bit more stuff. For this class today, we're doing things a little bit different. The resources you guys are using are a little bit simpler than if you've ever had us in, say, English 101 or Psych 101 or anything like that. All right. So where you guys want to go is the research guides. So we've actually created a research guide specific to your lab class. Now, I understand your professor is also linked to the research guide on eCampus, so you can actually skip the step of searching for the library page, etc. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's going to be on in the next update, which will be this afternoon.
Okay, cool. So when you're on the research guide homepage, if you do come in through the webpage, you just see it right here, Geology 102, Planet Earth Laboratory Rock and Mineral Report. Okay. And just to reiterate, if you come onto this page from eCampus, we again have all the ways you can reach out to us. Please, if you struggle with any of this stuff, don't bang your head against the wall for like 5 minutes. You know, that's crazy. Just reach out to us. We're pretty helpful. Like all the librarians know how to use this stuff. It's not just me. Okay. So when you're here on the LibGuide, the first thing I want to show you is how to access the ebooks. That's the trickiest thing, if only because library ebooks, unfortunately, sit behind a paywall, which you all don't have to deal with because of, behind a sign-in, which make things a little bit trickier because the college is paying for them. So we have special links on here that take you in so that you can log in and get access to them for free. All right, so you just click link to the library ebooks. And just so you know, every one of these sections here, we have a little video that goes over the same stuff. So that makes it convenient in case you forget anything you saw today. All right, so I picked out 2 ebooks that'll help you with this class. One is the Guide to Minerals, Rocks, and Fossils, and the other is Rock and Gem. So for example, all you have to do is click here. Now, if you're accessing off campus, which let's face it, we all are these days, typically you'll first land on the catalog page. And I want you to make sure you see this. Click View Ebook, okay? Now it's going to prompt you to log on. You guys ignore all these social media links. You want to click the employee student link. Like if there's one thing I want you to really remember from today is click employee student for any library resource you want to get onto. You'll log in with your WV username and password. If you ever have issues connecting with that or don't remember, you can always reach out to the library. We can help you. All right, so I just got to authenticate on Duo. Okay, and you can see it'll take me straight into the book. Now, the nice thing is the books that are on this database are always kind of like, they're nice and searchable, they're easy to work with. So if my mineral example for this assignment was fluorite, I could just type fluorite into here. And you want to make sure you're using this search box right here, not this one up here. If you put it into this search box, it's going to search all of Credo. You only want to search inside this book, so you would just put it in that search box. All right, and so I get 11 results for fluorite. And what you see, I just click on the article right here. It comes up nice and clean. As you can see, it's super easy. For the descriptive part of your paper, you can see it gives all the diagnostic information around the mineral. That's super nice. It's got pictures that you can use as long as you attribute where they came from. You would just credit it to the book itself. And so this is a really good book to use if you just need the diagnostic information for that part of the assignment. It's not really that handy for the locality or other information that you guys are going to need to put in. Now, one thing I want you to see for your actual report is it has an actual built-in citation for you that is super handy. And the citation is actually accurate if you want to copy and paste it. Your professor, and correct me if I'm wrong, has said you can use both APA and MLA as long as you're consistent.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you start with APA on one, use like APA the whole way through. So, but you can see you get an accurate APA citation and you get an accurate MLA citation. So that's super convenient. You just copy and paste. Makes your life pretty good. We don't always recommend the database citations because they're not always right, but in this case, you can use that one and it's okay. All right. So it's not just minerals, it's also rocks. Nate, you have a good rock that you'd like us to look up?
Yeah, let's go in and grab a piece of let's look up a piece of shale.
Shale. See, here I was worried he was going to tell me something like difficult to spell, like, conglomerate or something like that.
Yeah, I ain't that fancy.
All right. So you can see you get different types of articles. We get one that's mudstone, shale, and clay. It's actually a comparative article between the two. So you may have to look between the different books, and that's okay. All right. So in this one, it doesn't give you a lot of information. That's okay. We can go back out to the other ebook. I'm going to close this. This takes us back to the library catalog on the other tab. Hit back. And we'll just click Rock and Gem. All right, so you'll just click the View ebook link again there. And since we've already signed in, it's not going to ask us to sign in again. So on this one, we'll type shale. And you can see it's actually got a really nice little article describing shale, including its properties and how it's formed. So that's nice. Some pretty pictures of it. It's got some fossils in there. I really like this one because it's got that kind of guide to give you a sense of how big the sample is. All right. Somebody splitting shale. So again, these are pictures you can use in your presentations. You just need to use them with attribute. You need to make sure you attribute where you took them from. And again, there are great citations that are totally accurate that you can use. All right. So these are really straightforward. If you've had us for other classes, we've shown you stuff that's way more complicated than this. But this is a really easy to use resource. All right. So do you guys have any questions about the library ebooks? No? Okay, cool. All right. So the next one I'm going to show you, it's also...
We just type in credoreference.com and we can pull up this website?
No, because you want to have it so it's set up to recognize your sign-in from WVU. That's why it's better to come in off the library database. If you were on campus, you could do that. But when you're off campus, the sign-in stuff is going to become an issue for you. So it's easier to come in off the LibGuide. Plus, we have the link like straight to the book for you. Whereas if you go in a Credo reference, you'd have to find like Phillips guidebook or things like that. Versus here, you click it, you're straight on the book. So that saves you a lot of time. All right, I want to talk to you guys now about 2 resources that are available on the open web. These are completely free, they're just out there. And the one is the Handbook of Mineralogy. It's a really cool set of books that one of the big mineralogy societies basically said, hey, we're going to make this available for free. And the nice thing about it is it has fact sheets on all of the, pretty much every major mineral. All right, so to access it, and again, this is another one where we have a video on how to use it in case you have questions from this that you don't remember what we talked about. All right, but I think you'll find this is like the easiest one to use. All right, so you just click the link here for Handbook of Mineralogy. I recommend, so you guys are going to know what rock and mineral you're assigned. So it's really convenient to just do it by first letter. And that's the link right here. If I'm looking for fluorite, I would just click F. I would scroll down on the page until I found where fluorite was, which is just right here. Now, if you're on a slower rural connection, thankfully the PDFs are really small. So I know that typically if we go into the classroom, we tell you if you're on a slow connection, avoid PDFs, but these are so small, they like to pop just like that. All right, so they do give descriptive information. It's a little bit more technical than what's on the 2 books. You guys would probably find it easier to read the descriptive information they give for your diagnostic portion in the 2 books. But they do have things like the appearance, luster, etc. And the thing that's really nice though for the Handbook of Mineralogy is it tells you where this is found. It also gives you the localities of where it can be found, so that's really handy for you guys. The only thing that's tricky is the way it lists out the distribution. It gives a really, really long list. And I know you guys only really need to provide like a type locality or place where it's been found. But it's nice if you want to check between resources and make sure that everything you have lines up. All right. So again, this one's super easy to use. And it's got information on like nearly 5,000 minerals. All right. So we'll go back out to the library homepage. And the last one I want to show you is called Mindat. This is a really popular website for looking up information on minerals and rocks. Again, I've got a video on how to use it. It's very straightforward. So you just click Mindat. And you can find this one and the Handbook of Mineralogy just on Google. It's just fine. All right. So it's straightforward. There's no advanced searching, no complicated stuff. You just type the name of what you're looking for in here. So if I were looking for, say, feldspar, you can see I get nice pictures of things that would have like be related to that within that group. So you guys would actually get something more specific like amonite. Sorry about that. So we'll just do, all right. So you can see we actually get some nice like pictures of this that you guys can actually use. You just want to make sure that you do attribute it. And in this case, you guys literally just put something like from mindat.org. That would be okay, right, Nathan?
Yes.
Okay. You can see it gives you, sorry, I was looking down here. It gives you actually localities of where it's been recovered. So that's very convenient. One thing I'll tell you that's really, if you want to pick one locality, look for what's called, you look for a TL by one of these. It's called the type locality. Most of the rocks and minerals on this site have that information. That would be the best one to use because it would be like where it's from.
Yeah, it's the most unique. It's usually where this mineral has been named from.
Yeah, like where it was first found. So you may have to scroll down through to pick it out. And if you have any trouble finding this information, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're happy to go over it. Okay, let me show you another search on here real quick with fluorite. So you can see, again, you get tons of great pictures of fluorite. It gives you a good sense of the different ways that these can appear. It gets a nice descriptive information. However, it's a little bit skinnier on descriptive stuff than the ebooks are. So I really recommend using the ebooks for the diagnostic descriptive section. And you can see it even, if you go in here on the minerals, it will tell you what the type localities are. So that's very convenient, like right up here. It gives you some more complicated information, which you guys don't necessarily need. But it lets you double check the stuff. So that's really nice. All right. And mostly the key thing that we're stressing by giving you multiple sites that kind of have the same information is that you can go and you can triangulate between the different sources and look for information that agrees. So you know that the information you're finding is true. All right. Does anyone have any questions about MNDAT? It's pretty straightforward. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry.
Yeah, I love MNDAT. That's probably my #1 visited site when it comes down to learning about minerals, because it's such an expansive database, and it's a lot of the times it's user generated data, so it's going to keep growing. So if you wanted to learn more about minerals after the class, there's always going to be a resource for it.
Maybe you've picked something up in the field and you're not sure what it is. It's a great place to go and look at stuff. All right, 2 other tabs I want to draw your attention to before I pop off of here and let you guys have the rest of your day back is I have a citing sources tab, and it's basically a short guide to APA and MLA covering how you should actually use a citation in your text. I give some examples of direct quotes, paraphrasing, and I also give examples of what your reference and bibliography list should look like, whether you're using APA or MLA. So I've got stuff for books, which we went over 2 books. Book chapters, that's what you want to use for the Handbook of Mineralogy. And then web pages like MNDAT. So, all right. So again, that information, it's just all on here. It's pretty easy to use. If you feel confused by it or you have questions, reach out to us. I cannot stress that enough. There's one other thing you take away from this whole thing is please reach out to us if you need help. All right. One last thing I want to show you for your presentation is for finding free images that you can use. There's a thing out there called Creative Commons, and I'm not going to get into the details of licensing or anything like that. But basically content that's on Creative Commons has been put up for people to use without having to worry about copyright. So it's very nice. All right, and we actually have a direct link right here to the image search. So if you click on that, it brings up a search page like this. Now, the one thing I recommend that you do check is to click, something you can modify or adapt, just in case you use this for another class. For this class, you don't really need to look for things that are licensed that way, but you should as just a rule of thumb. All right, so if I put in here to look for, say, fluorite, you can see right off the bat, I get a bunch of images in that we know are fluorite. So it's really convenient. If I click on them, you can copy and paste them into your paper. One thing that's nice for your attribution statements is it actually gives you a crediting statement right here that you can just copy and paste. Just by clicking copy, it's already on your clipboard and just paste it into your PowerPoint or Word document. So that's really handy if you want to be able to use these images. Okay. All right. So that's about all I wanted to cover. Is there anything else I need to go over while I'm here, or is that pretty clear?
Yeah, it's actually clear. Does anybody have any questions before Nick has to leave?
All of this can be found on the library website, correct?
Yeah, if you go to that LibGuide, let me show you how to get there again real quick. You just go to Potomac State College, library, click right here, click Research Guides, and click Geology 102. And I've made it real convenient. I've linked all these resources for you right here. And I understand you're your professor said today, he's going to update and include a direct link to this right on eCampus.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to make this as easy as possible for you guys. It's, getting on the internet and looking for information is like drinking from a fire hose. And one of our jobs as a librarian is to try to get that down to actually be like a water fountain instead. So, or at least, a garden hose or something a little bit easier. So, all right. But again, I know some of you guys I recognize, that we're pretty personable. If you need help, call us, email us, hit the library up on Facebook. We'll help you. All right. Okay. Well, if there aren't any questions, I'm going to get disconnected then.
All right. Thank you, Nick.
No problem.